All right, so we'll call to order the town council meeting for November 20th. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone online. I'm Jan Lawrence. I'm newly elected as vice chair for the now named town council, originally Board of Selectmen. Thank you all for attending tonight. Tiffany Teely is on vacation. She is our new chair for the town council and will be with us on December 4th. She's here. I'm here in her stead. Well, thank you all. So let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Here you go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then let me also add, I thank Keith for his service as chair. Thank you, sir. We appreciate all the work you did. Well done. So I'll try to fill those shoes tonight as best I can. All right. So are there any additions or changes to the agenda? Okay.
I'm actually just going to go in and get a copy of the agenda.
All right.
I mean, I've seen it, but.
Okay, so first item on here is public comment. So this section of the agenda is reserved for persons in attendance who wish to briefly address the town council. The council requests that a person's comments be limited to a single period lasting 3 minutes or less. While the council respects the right of the public to provide comment, this time is not intended for open discussion or a council response. Residents who wish to request a dialogue should make arrangements to do so through the town manager's office or the council chair. Persons wishing to comment should type comment and your name in the chat box and you will be recognized. Any public comment this evening? Everybody's planning their Thanksgiving festivities. All right, we'll close public comment. Oh, anybody online?
No, I did check it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, so we'll close public comment. That brings us to good to know special recognition. That's the Town Center Project 250th celebration update. I had a feeling that was Holly.
I am back.
Okay.
A while ago, I wish that I had written down the date so that I could refer to it often. I didn't realize how often I would be referring to it. But the Board of Selectmen, aka the Town Council, had appointed the Town Center Project to be lead on the event celebrating our country's 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The committee started meeting, I don't know, months ago now, I guess. Seems like months ago. And there's 7 of us, 8 of us, came up with a list of things that we would like to see happen in town. We've reached out to a number of other nonprofit organizations. The list that is in front of you, the things that are in the bright blue are Town Center Project initiatives. The things that are in the red are St. Peter's initiatives. We have a light blue, that's the Historical Society. We have a light red, that's the Lions. And I know, I'm sorry, it's so small. There is an electronic version. It's going to be a rolling document. As we go along, it will change and progress. Obviously, we'll get rid of, oh, Andy, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I have with me, but I couldn't. So.
Obviously, as we work forward, we'll get rid of the top and move more into the bottom. Hopefully, not hopefully, we know that things are going to be busy for the year, not only with the Town Center Project and the town of Hebron, but the other entities along the way as well. It's preliminary information. Everything is subject to change. For instance, the theater troupe that's on here, we're still waiting for Tiffany to confirm that they're interested in participating in that. However, we did put it on there. We didn't want to lose track of that. So there are some things that are still in moving. The flag ceremony, we're thinking of the Flag Day or Veterans Day. So we still are working through dates and things like that. Of course, many hands make light work. Anybody wants to step up and help, we'd love to have them. A couple of events still have some open chair positions. All events have open committee member positions. We're working through funding. Hartford Greater Together, the Hebron Greater Together Community Fund has been incredibly supportive of the Town Center project as a whole. This event strikes a wonderful chord for them. They have so far, to the best of my knowledge, approved our grant request. We've spoken with the town about moving forward with a budget item. We're thinking maybe $1 per resident would be a fun thing to do. We're having our budget that we're thinking is a pretty substantial budget, probably double Maple Festival to get us through the whole entire year. Yeah, I guess that's really kind of it. We do have the opportunity for other grants that we are working with through the federal, through the government, through the state. We have those opportunities. We're also doing a number of fundraising events. We're putting together an 18-month calendar that's going to be all Hebron, which has been super fun. That needs a chair if anybody wants to help. But anyhow, that'll be a fundraiser for us. We're anticipating a lot of participation. The community response has been fabulous. And as always, the Town Center project really does rile the community, I guess, right? Does anybody have any questions, feedback, thoughts?
I just would like to say what a special organization the Town Center Project is. Continue to produce and inspire and amaze all of us here in town. Holly, I don't know how you do it, but you just keep on.
Well, it's not just me. I mean, although you guys only see me and only talk to me, it's not just me. We have the Republicans that help. We have the Democrats that help. We have our board members. It's not just me. Our town is crazy. Andy supports us like mad. It's not, I may be the face that you guys see, but it is definitely not all me. But thank you, Claudia.
You are appreciated.
Thank you.
Absolutely, I'll second that, and just appreciate all the work all of you guys do, all the different events you guys have, and I gotta admit, I forgot it was our 250th birthday next year. Like, wait, what happened? I just remember the bicentennial.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, right, I'm old.
Well, it's pretty amazing that Hebron is actually older than our
Yes.
country, right? We're
Yes.
318
Yes.
and our country's 250. So we're working that into a logo. We'll hopefully be able to present that soon. But yeah, I mean, it is over. That's pretty cool. Of course.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta have merch.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Hats, tote bags, maybe some
Good stuff.
sweatshirts.
Maybe a holiday ornament. Do that.
Maybe. 1776. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff.
Right.
Fantastic. No, great work, and we appreciate all this planning that goes into it. I know it's huge at the planet, and then to carry it out, and you guys always carry it out without a hitch. So we appreciate it very, very much. You guys do a tremendous job for this town.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't need to stand up here and get accolades for this.
Well, you deserve them.
And I
It's okay.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
The Town Center Project appreciates it because it truly is not me. We're a democracy.
Of course.
I need to admit it sometimes. I'd love to be a dictatorship, but it doesn't work out. So if nobody has any questions, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Holly. We appreciate it. Okay, so that brings us to appointments and resignations. So the first ones are to reappoint the Hebron police officers. Claudia, would you mind reading that proposed motion?
Mind it all.
I appreciate it. I have it here too.
The proposed motion is move that pursuant to Hebron Town Charter Section 804 and the Hebron Town Code Section 100-1. The Hebron Town Council confirms the town manager's reappointment of the following Hebron police officers for a 2-year term to run until December 2027. They are Sergeant Mark Rivera, Officer Kevin Dowd, Officer Ricardo Martinez, Officer Thomas Reagan, and Officer Thomas Topoulos.
Thank you, Claudia. Any discussion?
I just want to say what a great group of people that work in law enforcement in our town. They don't just protect us, but they're also just amazing individuals. I won't shout out specific people, but I do have my favorites.
Thanks for that. Anything else? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye, opposed nay. Claudia Riley,
Claudia Riley, aye.
Keith Pettit,
Keith Pettit, aye.
Sean Fitzgerald,
Sean Fitzgerald, aye.
and Jan Lawrence, aye. Motion carries. All right, and then we have 2025 reappointments in accordance with policy. The following lists appointed terms expiring December 2025. Each person has been contacted to determine their interest in reappointment. Also included is the policy regarding reappointments. The following folks have said yes. I'll leave the last one. Well, I'll just read it through. Conservation Commission, Christopher Fry is yes. Commission on Aging, Margaret Gibbs, yes. Economic Development Commission, Michelle Nicholson, yes. Hebron Green Committee, Lindsay Ockman, yes. Joshua Esposito, no. Historic Properties Commission, Mary Ann Foote, yes. Susan Moran, yes. Housing Authority, John Daughtry, yes. Housing Choices Advisory Committee, Stephen Wells, yes. Parks and Recreation Commission, Eric May, yes. Public Building Committee, Malcolm Leichter, yes. DPW Action Committee, Malcolm Leichter, yes. That's it. Okay. So for those appointments, do I have, can I get a proposed motion for, I guess, do we need to approve those?
Yeah, the next.
Okay.
Yes, next page.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Sean, could you read that motion?
Oh, of course.
I'm failing over you to read my own writing. Please.
I move that the Hebron Town Council reappoint the following individuals for a 4-year term to run until December 2029. Conservation Commission, Christopher Fry. Commission on Aging, Margaret Gibbs. Economic Development Commission, Michelle Nicholson. Hebron Green Committee, Lindsay Ockman. Historic Properties Commission, Mary Ann Foote and Susan Moran. Housing Authority, John Daughtry. Housing Choices Advisory Committee, Stephen Wells. Parks and Recreation Committee, Eric May. Public Building Committee, Malcolm Leichter, and DPW Action Committee, Malcolm Leichter.
Any discussion?
Anyone who's willing to put their foot forward for the town for another 4 years has my support.
For sure. For sure. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye, opposed nay. Claudia Riley,
Claudia Riley, aye.
Keith Pettit,
Keith Pettit, aye.
Sean Fitzgerald,
Sean Fitzgerald, aye.
Jan Lawrence, aye. Motion carries. Thank you to all those folks. Appreciate your volunteerism. That takes us to reappointment of town council. So with that one, Keith, did you read that proposed motion?
Actually, I know that the chair had some comments regarding this, so I was wondering if the board, or sorry, if the town council is all right with tabling this motion until the 4th. I know there were some items brought up at previous appointments, and I know that she would want to be here for that.
Understood. I understood that as well.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we will table that until the 4th.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Keith. All right, so we'll table that one. Okay. All right, so that's the end of 6. So now that takes us to you, Andy. Town managers report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
So the first item, bear with me, is we went to mediation with the DPW union negotiations. And we successfully came to an agreement without having to go to arbitration. So anticipate an executive session on December 4th Board of Selectmen meeting for the selectmen to. DPW was already ratified their end of it, so I'm bringing it to you with a summarized letter from the labor attorney myself. regarding the takeaway from that. And it'll be subject to the council's approval to see if we ratify that ourselves. So that'll be coming. So we've been doing quite a bit of work on that.
Right.
The fact that we didn't have to go to arbitration is good. So
Oh, for sure.
we conducted interviews for the revenue collector. So we're hoping to hear back some good news and possibly have that on a future agenda if somebody, the candidate that was selected is willing to confirm the additional offer. So keep your eyes open for that. We're trying to get that position filled because that office is kind of understaffed. We had a revenue collector from Columbia who we knew very well. That was very good, help us out. And yesterday was our last day. So I want to try to get some help in there. So this will work out. So stay tuned. We continue to work with the auditors. As I think you will know, that's quite a bit of work, 2 different areas. We're now starting to review the CIP from the department heads at that time of year. They review. We have a couple stragglers, but for the most part, we're getting them in there. We're going to start reviewing those, putting that together. And unfortunately, we continue to work on FOI requests, which is consuming a lot of time. All my departments, I must say, it's probably the most done since I've been here. We had a health insurance commission torture meeting today, and it's still early, but we went from a 16 down to a 15%. So at least it's going in the right direction. But we had numbers plugged in for people that they've done boards of ed to stick it into their boards of ed, both regional and local, to stick that number into their budget. So we're trying to use the real numbers, the numbers that we have today. They're still a moving target, but hopefully they'll go in the right direction. And therefore, when we get more into the budget, we can reduce or have some savings there. But unfortunately, across the board, insurance is, there's a state plan. Some people are over 18, 20%. We had a meeting with Kerma. Dory assisted me in that. We reviewed our insurance policies. That went pretty well. There was really no surprises. And I met with the lieutenant of the state police and the resident trooper sergeant because we had a little bit of a revolving door there with people being deployed and people taking family leave. And now we've got another new one that just started yesterday. So I hope to be bringing him to a selectmen's meeting, but he's going to be temporary as well till the other person comes back. Gotta get him introduced. So that's what we've been working on.
Fantastic. Thank you for all that. The auditors, is there like a time frame for how long it's going to take for the audit or?
We're hoping to get it done by January.
Okay.
So we should be starting on this next year's audit. I mean, we're behind
Right.
right now, but
Right.
we're working the revenue collector's office has got that,
Okay.
backed up until we get that done, which is, I expect an update next week on that.
Okay, great. Forward to that. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? Very good. Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome.
Okay, that takes us to old business. First is ARPA, which is American Rescue Plan State and Local Recovery Funds Update. Is there any?
So anything that is asterisk is there's no need for action. We just keep it on
Okay.
there so it doesn't fall off.
Perfect.
The agenda.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. That means we can, I think DPW, we're going to hear from them
Next.
December 4th, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And then that takes us to adoption of ordinance for municipal extension of tax relief, exemption for permanent and totally disabled veterans. Okay, so Claudia, could you read that proposed motion?
Sure. Do you have-
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Either way.
Alrighty. The proposed resolution is, be it resolved by the Hebron Town Council that in accordance with Connecticut General Statute Section 12-65B, as amended, the attached ordinance for municipal extension of tax relief exemption for permanent and totally disabled veterans be adopted.
Okay, any discussion? So just
Like make an amendment to that motion.
Okay.
That the attached document does not have the latest revisions. So it'll actually be, what we'll be doing is we'll be voting on the revised ordinance.
okay,
And in addition to the revisions that were handed out, is also the strike through on the first sentence in 336-2, which Dory is going to make that amendment
Right.
as well.
right. Okay, thanks for that clarification. Okay, and just for those folks that may have not been at the hearing earlier this evening, the Hebron Town Council did hold a public hearing to receive public comment regarding the adoption of an ordinance for municipal extension tax relief exemption for permanent and totally disabled veterans. And it is now appropriate to act on the adoption of this ordinance. The ordinance would become effective on December 20th, 2025, unless overruled as provided in section 405 of the Hebron Town Charter. I want to make sure that was clear. And any other discussion?
We can either vote on the amendment or you can accept it as a friendly amendment and then we can vote on the main motion.
I can accept it as a friendly amendment.
You cannot.
Oh, I cannot. Somebody else. Claudia.
I will
Sorry.
accept it as a
Sorry.
friendly amendment.
Okay.
See, you were looking through me. Straight through.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm gonna make a couple of flubs tonight. It's guaranteed. Sorry, guys.
It's just part of the job.
We good? Okay.
Any other?
Any other comments, Sean?
I feel it's a pretty straightforward vote.
Mhm.
Even personal feelings aside, it's just bringing us into alignment with
Yeah.
state statute. Yep.
Agreed. Your towns are doing it.
So yes. But to bring my personal back in, yeah, I'm for it.
Okay, very good. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll vote on this. So all those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Claudia Riley,
Claudia Riley, aye.
Keith Pettit,
Keith Pettit, aye.
John Fitzgerald,
Sean Fitzgerald, aye.
Jan Lawrence, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for your service. We appreciate you.
Thank you, counselors.
You're welcome.
Go forth and speak within you.
Yes, tell your
There you go.
Mr. Moore.
fellow veterans.
Thank you, former first selectman. Didn't know that.
Yes, he was the last first selectman, he told me. In
I-
1989,
So the last first selectman and the last selectman.
right.
Oh, that was Dan. Oh, Dan, I know. Dan.
He was a revenue collector for us.
Oh, wow. All right. Very cool.
Yes, I was telling Janet, my name's on that plaque over there. And I'm the only living first selectman. And I'm not feeling good myself. So,
Oh,
Thank you, sir. All right. So that takes us then to approve revisions and adopt Hebron Economic Development Incentive Program. I think we were going to table that one as well. Okay.
Matt can speak to it.
Matt, you want to speak to it?
Yeah, he's.
I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. I didn't
No, I'm happy to.
recognize you.
I don't know if you were thinking, this Tiffany's not here, but I'm happy to walk it through with the board.
Sure, absolutely. Please,
Okay, great.
please do.
If I take a seat.
Please, please.
Thank you, for welcoming me. My name is Matt Porto, I'm the Director of Planning and Development. I'm, here tonight, on behalf of the Economic Development Commission to discuss some work they've been doing to take a look at the Hebron Economic Development Incentive Program and recommend some changes or upgrades to, what our current policy is. So we prepared a draft. I think it's been shared with you. There's a memo also included in your packet. But just to start from the top, I think it might be a good place to start. Looks like 2010, the Hebron Economic Development Commission proposed the adoption of the program. The idea was to generate tax revenue, provide jobs, goods, and services by encouraging economic development. To do so, the program was designed to utilize the provisions of Connecticut General Statutes, Section 12-65B, which allows municipalities to fix the assessment of property at a pre-improvement value or a percentage thereof for a limited term as an incentive to encourage investment and development, whether that be from the ground up or in addition or upgrade to an existing facility. The Economic Development Commission proposed the policy. It was ultimately adopted by the Board of Selectmen. The way it would work is that Economic Development Commission would review a proposal for a project and work with that applicant to come up with what might be an appropriate package for tax abatement, essentially. Relief that would allow them to invest into their or incentivize their investment in this town. Make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen, excuse me, now the Town Council, but previously the Board of Selectmen, hold the ultimate authority to accept the recommendation, modify the recommendation, or decline the recommendation. Let's see here. So the reason the Economic Development Commission is looking at some upgrades to the program is that the state statute enabling legislation has evolved and changed over the years. Whereas once upon a time, it was limited in terms of the investment that was required to qualify for the program. That minimum investment is no longer relevant, is no longer part of the statute. Whereas once it was limited to only a handful of uses, the number of uses or the breadth of uses that could be qualified or could qualify for the program has now been expanded. For example, never included residential uses, multifamily residential uses, now does. The statute has also been expanded, whereas it was limited at one time to a 10-year term was the maximum term that a municipality could consider. Now has been upgraded to 30 years. It has also been expanded or upgraded to allow a municipality to consider abatement of personal property tax revenue as well. So not just the grounds and the building and the upgraded value that you bring to a new structure or in addition to a structure, but also the equipment, for example, a fleet of trucks or, a sophisticated medical equipment or something along those lines that, could potentially have a meaningful impact on whether or not you're able to attract that kind of investment to town. So that is the tool that the town has to work with that comes down from the state statute. The program locally also includes, though the town has never utilized this option, a reimbursement program of essentially public improvements and utility improvements. So if there is a road construction that provides access to a development site and perhaps along the way makes more land developable or extends utilities to the same effect, the town could consider reimbursing the cost of those improvements by utilizing the increase in the tax revenue based on that improvement over a 3-year term in 3 increments. So say, if there was $1 million spent on public utility improvement and the property values around the improvements increased by $1 million, over 3 years, you could reimburse the cost of the improvements with that increased tax revenue. Again, a little bit more nuanced and sophisticated, and the town has not utilized that up to this point, but it is an option. I think so I'll keep going and then I'll summarize. So what the Economic Development Commission is recommending is that the town upgrade its program to be substantially consistent with the state statute. We know that there is, a competitive and challenging economic development climate, and to have in our toolbox the full flexibility of what the state statutes provide the municipality the option to consider, we ought to be able to at least make sure that's available. So the program policy draft that's been provided either by reference or specifically notes all consistencies with the state statute. For example, rather than articulate a handful of uses that are considered to be select uses or desirable uses, what we've done is recommended a change that is simply the list of uses that are available via the state statute. We have, by reference, recommended that we don't limit the term, we don't limit the value of the investment, we don't limit the potential for the town to consider an abatement of only real property taxes or assessment, but also personal property assessment. And we also have kept the road construction utility extension provision. Ultimately, was probably a couple months ago, the Board of Selectmen basically memorialized their role as the decision-making body. That would be now the town council. The process has not changed. There's no recommended changes to the process. An applicant, or in the event that we are soliciting a specific use or want of the community, would still prepare their application. It would be reviewed with the Economic Development Commission. The commission would work with that applicant. If they find it appropriate, make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen. Board of Selectmen, again, can agree to it, accept the recommendation, modify it, or decline. So it's not that substantial a change, but it is designed to maximize flexibility. And with the council's consent, the next step would be to, upgrade application forms, the way it's presented on the website, its accessibility and its presence as an actual tool for future use. So I think that's generally the summary. Obviously, we'll have to upgrade this draft to note the town council new title.
Right.
And I believe there may be one typo that I want to review a little closer in section B. Subsection B at the end, it references as outlined in subsection A above. I think really what should be noted there is simply outlined below, because the procedures, the application requirements and procedures is at the bottom of the list, whereas as it previously was located elsewhere. So with those two minor provisions, that is the recommendation of the EDC.
Very good. Thanks, Matt.
I just had a question.
Yeah, please.
So we're trying to obviously bring policies and procedures up to date, modernize, so to speak. Also, you're talking about operationally, how are we going to modernize or make processes, forms up to date, right? Do you know that, or you know of any other towns that have already done this work, that the model already exists for them, for the forms, et cetera?
I will tell you that in my experience, many municipalities do it in a lot of different ways.
So there isn't really like a uniform or like a model that towns can just grab it, like a plug and play kind of thing.
I could do some more research and find probably some good examples that would fit well.
Yeah.
But what I have found is something that I personally would recommend we probably don't adopt is more criteria or more of a ranking system, qualification of the different, various uses that could somewhat hamstring our ability to be flexible again, or perhaps disincentivize or discourage applicants if they don't feel like they fit a more narrow or defined bracket of qualifying uses. So that in my experience, I've seen backfire.
Yeah.
So, but I'd be happy to do a little more research to find.
We could check with Krog.
Yeah.
Krog would give us you can look at.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear some real world examples of some of those different types of solutions working in different towns, like when you're talking about repaying like investment utilities or that kind of thing, has that been done successfully? Have they realized that much of a benefit to surrounding properties, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that was definitely a debate amongst the commission, whether or not to keep that component of this program, thinking that it might be a little bit too challenging to administer,
Seems like it. Yeah.
or
First
what in fact are going to be the costs. We know that everything is
Right.
escalated just astronomically,
Sure.
particularly to install roads and utilities.
That's right. Yeah.
Can the increase in tax revenue over a 3-year term really make a dent in what might be the package that someone needs to come to town and invest? It could be a stretch, but nonetheless, it seems wise probably to leave it in there,
Yeah.
and
Understood,
at least
yeah.
it could be an option.
A perfect example that happened in Hebron, just for point of reference, is when they built the assisted living. We had to bring power all the way down Johnny Horton Boulevard, and now they only have to pay to bring power from 66 all the way down. Eversource made them do a loop and bring it all the way back down the other side. So it was a huge expense for them. It took them it did take them 24 months, but about 18 to 20 months to build the place without any revenue or rented income. And with the hook up to the sewer fees, power, and then the building fees, they had over $1 million out of pocket. That's why we did that 5-year tax incentive.
Right.
A lot of people felt that, that was not a good thing for the town. But I think if you didn't have, we couldn't force this back then. I don't want to mention their names, but a lot of the property owners benefited by that because now the power is right out in front of their properties, and if they sell it, they just can hook up to it. And that was a huge expense for Colbrook Village to do that. So I think that's a good tool in the toolbox if it ever happened again.
Sure. Understood.
Obviously, they have flexibility, again, just aligning with Connecticut statute. My personal goal is more proposals like the mini golf, not the business specifically, but the depth, the detail was, that top tier presentation. I know you actually altered because we said we wanted a shorter term. So you did pivot with that. So thank you from the previous veterinarian. So we asked for a pivot, and then the very next proposal had it. Would the new forms help kind of promote that level? That's what we're ideally looking for, because that was, it was easy. You came in, they had the plan, they had everything laid out. You guys had done the footwork, and it just made sense. Is this going to help you do that?
I think so. Now, I'll be honest with you, just conversationally, like it's a conflicting. I get conflicted with the use of the program, right? Because the goal is to generate tax revenue or providing revenue relief for new uses. Now, long term, it makes all the sense in the world. However, I don't necessarily want to lead with it all the time. You have to be somewhat selective. You're absolutely right. Mini golf is a great example. I will tell you that stretch of 3 business or commercial spaces on Church Street that was creating that little energy node that I got so excited about is very, very challenging, very, very expensive, and may not even be the right fit for all 3 of them. The mini golf is a go. We know it's under construction. Very excited about it. But I will also say, flip side, that success breeds success. Those are the kind of folks that also bring with them not just a good idea, but a lot of energy around them. They say, I was able to work with the town. We were able to get through the process together. I feel the support, and we can go from there. So I think that is where we will be successful in encouraging other businesses to invest. That kind of sweet spot where it's either homegrown or kind of near to heart. This kind of community is where people want to be. Their uses, it fits appropriately. It's not it's not crazy to think that we'll find more success along those lines.
Thank you.
I do agree with Sean's underlying point, though, of, you know, they had a highly developed business plan. It was fantastic. And we had, well, some of us have been on the board long enough to have voted on 5 different tax relief programs. And that is the only, so far, successful one. And, you know, when, I know it doesn't seem like it, but we take a lot of flack for that because, you know, nobody likes to hear that we're giving tax breaks out left and right. And so when we have one successful one, that's great. But I'm kind of hesitant now of if any more come before us in a less refined manner of honestly being able to move forward with it, because we've had 3 other ones where it was, you know, we need this in order to qualify for this, in order to qualify for that, and we really would like to make something nice out of this. And I can get behind that idea, and I have, and I voted for those ideas. And I don't know that I'll ever see those ideas come to fruition. So I feel like I've taken the flack on that business's behalf when maybe they weren't at a place in their planning and development where I should have stuck my neck out for them quite yet. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's my 2 cents.
Now, in that case, would it be on the EDC to sort of coach people up so that they're ready to present?
Yeah, we could do that. I will also say that, you know, so you can build a business plan, but bringing to life the improvements is in large part, or can be a moving target. So you have to kind of know somewhere along the line, generally in the earlier stages of the process, whether or not you can count on the relief because you're thinking about it in terms of how it fits into your plan. So that's kind of important to know. You're right, they're not all going to work out. There are some that have been approved that I still think will materialize. It's just been harder to get there than we thought. And then there are some that are not. It's that's the reality. So yeah, you know, you're not wrong. There is, it can be perceived as controversial. I think the reality right now, at least, till things change, or, you know, the tide turns for Hebron and we are just at destination, we are probably going to have to consider this type of relief or assistance for most of the ground up improvements that we're going to look at. To be competitive, right? So, but again, that's what I like about the way we're doing it. Rather than having a rigid ranking system where if you meet these terms, you qualify, then end of story. You know, there's a little bit more subjectivity. Like, is this the right fit for Hebron? And yes, it is a burden on the select or the council ultimately to make that decision. But you guys are great people for the job.
Thanks, man. Very good.
Yeah.
Please.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay. People, so then we're going to approve revisions to personnel policies.
We can table.
We're going to table that one.
Have you had a chance to look at them?
I started. I started, and I.
You got to
want
go
take
through
away-
them like 10 pages at a time.
Is that how it
You just
works?
got to, because otherwise you'll never get through it.
I was talking to Andy a little bit about it. I saw the gender neutral language.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
And, but then a lot of it was actual just adjustments to vacation time and all these kind of things. And
Yeah, and some
So-
of that isn't necessarily always, you know, that's part of negotiations and not
Right.
always part of our purview. But like,
right.
you know, I do want to clean up some of the repetitive language,
Uh-huh.
like just in the first 4 sections it repeats the same thing 4 times, that it's
Right.
not legally binding. Like, I only need to know it's not legally binding once.
Right.
I don't need to
Right.
know
I don't need to get hit over the head with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there are some cleanup points to it, but yeah, you just got to kind of work through it in chunks.
Understood. Okay. I'll take that under advisement. Thank you.
It
All
is
right.
an HR manual after all.
Yeah, understood. I'm not HR. I only engage with them on occasion at work, but nice people. But at any rate, okay, thanks for that. All right, so we'll table that one. So at this point, is there any other old business anyone wanted to discuss this evening? Any old business? Last one more time, any old business, Robert's rules. Okay, hearing none. We'll move into new business. And the first item is to review and approve the town council 2026 meeting schedule. Let's see if I can get to that. Here. So yeah, got it right here. So did you guys have a chance to take a look at the calendar?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, very good. All right. So I need a motion on the calendar, and let's see, who did I leave off with? Last. Hey. Just want to,
I'll take it.
you want to take it, Keith?
Sure.
Go for it.
Move that the Hebron Town Council adopt the 2026 meeting schedule as presented. Because I don't believe there's any amendments. I had no amendments. There were no conflicts with major holidays or religious observances, and they had already somewhat taken into account the school vacation schedule. So I think we are good.
Excellent.
I'm in agreement. Okay.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Claudia Riley,
Claudia Riley, aye.
Keith Pettit,
Keith Pettit, aye.
Sean Fitzgerald,
Sean Fitzgerald, aye.
Jan Lawrence, aye. Motion carries. We have our schedule for the next year. Near B square. All right. So next, we want to recognize and disband the Charter Revision Commission. I don't know if we have anyone here tonight, but I just wanted to, for the record, just recognize all of those that were on the Charter Revision Commission. They did a tremendous amount of work over the years. And of course, it passed, obviously. Not all of it passed, but obviously us being a town council passed. So I just want to recognize Keith's wife, Heather Pettit, as chairman, Donna Lanza as vice chairman, Adam Ockman, who's now on the board of finance, Michelle Gauthier, Jessica Stewart, and Allegra Weir. So for this one, let me just read this here. So as the Hebron Charter Revision was approved on November 4th, 2025, and became effective on November 18th, 2025, is now appropriate for the town council to disband the Charter Revision Commission. And I just mentioned all the current members. So this proposed resolution, Sean, do you want to read that one?
Be it resolved that the Hebron Town Council disband the Charter Revision Commission effective immediately and express appreciation for the diligent work of the commission, culminating in a successful vote on charter revision on November 4th, 2025.
Any discussion?
I just want to, it was a very long commission. Obviously, the chair was not able to be here because it's her birthday.
Uh-huh.
So she is
All right.
enjoying some time attending that event. And also I'd like to, acknowledge Terry McManus's efforts as well. He was a part of that commission for probably more than half of the time that they were working on it, which was well over a year.
Right.
They had a lot of time and efforts involved in updating that document. We're benefiting from it right now as the town council, and I thank them all for their service.
Well
Thanks,
said.
Keith. All right. Since discussion is closed, all those in favor signify by saying aye, opposed nay. Claudia Riley,
Claudia Riley, aye.
Keith Pettit,
Keith Pettit, aye.
Sean Fitzgerald.
Sean Fitzgerald, aye.
Jan Lawrence, aye. Motion carries. Thanks to the commission. All right, and then we have the draft agenda, December 4th. For the regular meeting, that's 9C. Take a look at that, everyone. Any questions about this agenda? We do a motion for this agenda?
We do not do a motion
Okay.
for the agenda, but if there's anything that anybody wants to bring up
Okay,
now, you can say it now, or you can email Dory anytime between now and the publication.
okay.
Dory, if we could just add, the liaison reassignments are going to occur on the 4th as well.
I was gonna bring that up.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And any other new business before the council? Any other new business? Any other new business? Okay, hearing none. That takes us to consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine in nature, which the council may not need to discuss individually and may be voted on as a group. Any council member who wishes to discuss a particular item in this section may request the chair to remove it for later discussion and a separate vote if necessary. The first item is just approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for November 6, 2025, the regular meeting?
So
Claudia?
I will make the motion to approve the minutes of the November 6th regular meeting.
Any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. Claudia Riley,
Claudia Riley, aye.
Keith Pettit,
Keith Pettit, aye.
John Fitzgerald,
Sean Fitzgerald, aye.
and Jan Lawrence, aye. Motion carries. And lastly, I just see here tax refunds, none. So I guess there's nothing there. correct? Okay. And that takes us to liaison reports. So obviously we have a little bit of a reorg here with the town council now. So I believe we were gonna talk about Sean taking on AHM Youth Services.
Well,
Right.
we're going to.
Or what are we gonna do?
We can, yeah, we can do that, on the 4th. when-
Oh, you want to do it all on the 4th?
Well,
Okay.
just so Tiffany has a chance to weigh in on what she
Of
wants to
course.
keep as well.
Of
'cause
course.
I would hope that the chair would get first pick.
Yeah, she had recommended to me what she wanted, but we'll just table it to the 4th. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I'm happy
that's
to
fine.
do that. Make
You
sure.
did already add that to new business for the next meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Okay, excellent. Good enough. So
So I
that,
don't think there's any, unless BOE, no. I don't think any of these have met, so I don't think we have any,
yeah, that's the question too, right? If there were any reports for any of these.
OSLAC has not met. Board of Finance is upstairs currently.
Right.
Tiffany doesn't have anything for hers, obviously,
Land acquisition.
has not met since
It's not
our
met.
last meeting.
So I think, okay, so I think we can move on then. Okay, very good. All right, so that takes us finally to our last public comment. Any public comment from anyone?
I don't see anything online.
Okay, hearing no public comment, we'll adjourn tonight's meeting. Thank you guys all for attending. Have a good evening.
I move to adjourn the meeting at 7:54 PM.
Thank you.
Okay, do we vote on that?
Yeah. I'll vote for sure.
Okay, all those in favor?
I mean,
signify by saying aye or no?
you don't technically have to. No, as long as the chair, or in this case, the vice chair ends the meeting is ended.
Okay.
Well, I guess I did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I just-
run different meetings and
No, me too.
No,
I-
some